Could the kryptonite to the mighty Valentina Chevchenko already be heading towards the UFC? The Bullet is the undisputed queen of flyweight MMA. But more and more people are starting to see Dakota Dicha as a nightmare matchup for her. The question we have is, are they right? This is Fighting is Art. Let's get into it. Valentina Chevchenko. What can we say about Valentina Chevchenko that hasn't already been said? She's a two-time flyweight queen, a dominant presence at 125 pounds, and perhaps the most well-rounded female fighter active in the sport today. Her background in Muay Thai saw her achieve elite-level success over and over. And since transitioning to MMA, the speed at which she has picked up wrestling and BJJ skills has been astonishing. She is the greatest 125-pound fighter of all time, and it's hard to pick out the fighter who comes in second place. There is a huge gap between herself and her competition, and though she is getting older, her performances don't seem to show it. Dakota Dicha. Dakota Dicha is one of the most exciting prospects in MMA, at any weight division or of either gender. She is a relentless striker with innate finishing instincts, and her background in Muay Thai gives her mastery of many different weapons at many different ranges. It was only a matter of time before she claimed the PFL strawweight title and became one of their biggest stars in the process. And in recent months, she's starting to build up some serious hype, making everyone wonder when Dana White and his team will come a-knockin'. Let's take a look at her fight with Catherine Coragenes, which showcased her elite striking. Dakota wisely showed her distance management.
Back to the southpaw.
Her counter-striking was on point in this fight.
PFL debut featured a lot of clinch work so far, all out from distance. Right.
She negated her opponent's attempts at wrestling and punished her in the clinch.
As well, now trying to push the arm, and she will land knees with the quickness. Saw her last.
And hammer fists would rain down on her adversary.
And Dakota did a good job of getting that shin pin there.
Dicha pressed forward and unleashed a big right hand that cracked Coragenes on the jaw and sent her crashing to the canvas in a heap. Another punch followed, but the fight was already over.
With a club and a right hand.
See that right hand straight away. He tells me how much power's in that right hand every session, and I'm starting to believe it myself.
Strengths and weaknesses. Valentina Chevchenko. Strengths for Valentina Chevchenko are plentiful, and when it comes to her striking, she might just have the technical advantage over every single other flyweight on the planet. Her experience over 5 rounds is a truly invaluable part of her game, something she will hold over Dakota on every possible level. And Valentina's ground game is pretty compared to most strikers to enter MMA. She's mauled fighters with far more credentials than Dicha in the past. She's got a wide range of submissions in her arsenal too, having beaten many of her challengers on the mat. She is perhaps the only fighter in the sport who could match Dicha at range, and the threat of the takedown could well open up some very interesting gaps in her opponent's defense. Key performances. Valentina Chevchenko. What Valentina Chevchenko did to Jessica Andrade was a truly dominant performance against a credible threat in the division. Andrade was seen as the premier physical force, not just at flyweight, but in women's MMA entirely, capable of competing at 115 pounds, right up to 135. And yet, Valentina was able to totally maul her in there, showcasing just how important world-class technique is when you're dealing with a powerhouse. It didn't take long for Chevchenko to assert herself, and once she did, moving towards the finish was a mere formality. But if you're looking for the most violent moment in Chevchenko's catalog, her finish of Jessica I was exactly that. I was outgunned in more than one department here, and Chevchenko clearly knew it. But her kill shot of choice was truly a thing of beauty. A violent moment, as good as any knockout in the year in question. Jessica I was a solid fighter at the time, but no athlete takes a KO like that and comes out without major damage to their confidence. Strength and weaknesses. Dakota Dicha. Dakota is an absolute killer in the cage and a much more dangerous striker at 125 pounds than Chevchenko. She has only ever been to a decision once, and it's not usually because of some ungodly power she possessed, but instead because of her natural finishing instincts. If she gets her opponents hurt, it's very probable that the finish is not far behind. The questions over her experience in the grappling department remain, but she has shown at certain points that she's competent. We don't know much about her 5-round cardio or game planning, but that's only because she's been so deadly early on, which is not exactly her fault. Key performances: Dakota Dicha. Dakota Dicha versus Hermanson. This fight showcased the wrestling skills of Dicha, testing the distance early.
It's a good way to deal with the leg kicks.
Dakota tore through her opponent's knees with no care. She changed stances like prime stylebender and employed her long legs.
Dicha very willing to switch stances. As we've seen a couple times already. There's a clinch now. We've seen this pick up dividends for...
And the knees again was the weapon of destruction.
Not a nasty knee in the body. You heard the call.
This is where you don't want to be against Dicha.
Then Dakota threw Hermanson around like a rag doll. For a minute, Dakota practiced her wrestling game on her opponent.
I like seeing this from Dicha. I like seeing the growth in her game.
Doing her best Khabib impression, from the top position, Dakota transitioned to taking Hermanson's back and locked in a rear naked choke to end the fight, securing the first submission win of her MMA career. The striker kickboxer did not only show that she has great grappling defense, she also showed her ability to grapple offensively and choke her opponents to sleep if necessary. Dakota Dicha versus Valentina Skatitzi. Valentina Skatitzi had a very tough assignment in front of her, and her early pressure was clearly only getting her tagged.
Skatitzi in the stands coming out aggressive.
Early attempts to wrestle Dakota did not produce the results she was expecting.
Got the hands locked. See if she can get Dakota cage. Put her on her back.
And when she finally broke free, she punished her opponent for even trying.
He talks about Brendan. Good work by Dakota maintaining balance. And look at that.
Dakota was truly on fire here, at range, in close, everywhere.
Tried to drag Valentina Skatitzi. Oh, nice right hand. The straight was clean.
She messed up Skatitzi's eye so badly that the ref called the fight off then and there.
That eye, we might not see number 2 with that eye looking at themselves. I think the doctor's going to step in and stop this. Dakota Dicha!
Dakota Dicha versus Chelsea Hackett. Chelsea Hackett was clearly dealing with some technical and physical deficits coming into this one.
In the black kit, Chelsea Hackett with that push kick fight. Straight away with the low kicks. Attacks the low leg. Oh! Straight right hand! Hackett trying
But she did try her best to stifle Dakota early by pushing her up against the fence.
behind Dakota. Dakota's trying to dig that left elbow in, trying to turn herself to...
All she was doing was delaying the inevitable.
Work here by Chelsea Hackett to keep Dakota Dicha defensive in this position. So many opponents.
Little did she know that Dicha was ready to give her a taste of her own medicine.
Dakota Dicha and Chelsea Hackett. Dicha makes the playoffs with a win of any kind.
And as soon as Dicha found her opening, she ripped through Hackett's defenses.
Those knees are brutal. Oh, nasty combination. And the body work, and that's good.
Dakota Dicha versus Santos. Dicha didn't waste time unleashing her long, powerful legs.
Mission. I'm interested to see if she tries to take down.
The British Bulgarian proved to be too strong in the grappling department.
Santos trying to get that body lock. She's got double underhook.
She reversed her opponent.
These double underhooks to get Dakota Dicha to the ground. Nice job by
And on the feet, her signature front kick found a home on Santos's face.
Santos moves forward.
She outclassed the now depressed Brazilian, bringing loud cheers from the crowd.
Under 1 minute now in this first frame. And a flurry from Dicha.
Every attempt by Santos was rewarded with brutal counter shots.
$170 swag bundle for free.
She sneaks out of the sideline. Nice elbow.
She blasted her rival against the fence.
The nose.
And Dakota uncorked hard shots against the former UFC title challenger like never before.
I think Santos is hurt.
Elbow coming in from Dicha. There's a couple.
Santos is hurt.
About reaching down.
With seconds to go in the round, a thudding knee and flurry of body shots turned her insides to dust, and saving Santos was in the hands of the referee, crowning Dicha Britain's first female MMA world champion.
For sure. Santos is in big trouble. She's in big trouble.
Here's the replay.
That knee hurt. Punches against Chelsea Hackett and Lisa Malden. Hook to the body, knee to the solar plexus.
Dakota Dicha versus Jenna Bishop. From the onset of their fight, Dakota tested the waters from range.
Benefit is for Jenna Bishop because she can hit the liver.
Dakota likes the straight right favorite target. And in recent fights,
Brought back, gave up a little ground, and then loaded that left.
Then the cocky rival tried dominating Dakota in the grappling department.
Dicha does have one submission victory to her credit.
But Dakota, undeterred, tried to sneak in a triangle choke, but her opponent was wise to the danger.
Long limbs of Dakota are going to make it difficult for her. Now she's set up a triangle, but I don't think she's going to get...
Now, done with the play fighting, Dakota burst through Bishop's abdomen with sharp knees that immediately sent her crashing.
Is going to be unbelievable.
Looking to give her opponent a proper send-off, Dakota asked Bishop to stand up, only to follow up with a parade of blows that ended the fight.
And Dicha beckons Jenna Bishop back to her feet and goes immediately on the attack. Bishop in trouble. And that does it. Straight in the forehead. That puts her down again.
With her future opponent in the crowd, Dakota knew she had sent fear through their hearts, signaling them to shut up. The ferocity of the finish and the accuracy of her finishing punches sent a fear throughout the PFL flyweight division.
There's a big knee right up the middle into the knee, and then the second one right leads her way in. A teep, and then a straight right hand that puts...
Fight prediction. So how does this one play out? Well, both women will be very confident in their skills on the feet, but the wrestling of Chevchenko could skew things. A big factor in this fight is whether Dakota fears the takedown or not, because if Valentina can get her thinking about the shot, then perhaps it'll open up opportunities to land. The age of Chevchenko translates into excellent championship experience, but at the same time, 37 is by no means an ideal age for a flyweight. Would prime Chevchenko have an even better chance? Maybe, maybe not. But for our money, Dakota is more aggressive and dangerous than any of Valentina's past opponents, and her killer instinct and technical skills could well make her the most difficult stylistic clash possible for the Bullet right now. With all of that in mind, we'll have to side with the youth of Dicha, possibly by way of a second-round TKO, after a competitive feeling-out process in round 1. But what do you guys think about this super fight? And do you think we'll see it in the future? Would you back the youth and danger levels of Dicha or the tried and tested excellence of the UFC champ Shevchenko? Let us know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.